Something is off and most of us can feel it. Not one big thing, not a crisis with a name, just a slow, constant feeling that the thing that you're looking at, the screen, the feed, the notifications, the AI, whatever is pulling on your attention right now, is not giving you back what it's taking. You open YouTube and you scroll past things that look like videos but don't feel like videos. And you watch something for 3 minutes and you realize nobody actually made this. You click on a thumbnail that promised you something and delivered something entirely else. Something less. You close the app and you open it 11 minutes later without really deciding to. You go to bed later than you meant to, chatting to a robot, and you wake up tired. And somewhere in the back of your head, a small voice is saying, "This is not what I came here for." I posted a video a few weeks ago about how woodworking YouTube has changed. I really didn't expect any reaction from anybody, but right now it is sitting at over 4,000 comments. I read most of them, and the thing I didn't expect is that almost none of them are really about woodworking. They are all about what I just described, that feeling. That tiredness, the sense that something has quietly been taken away and nobody told you when it happened. One commenter, a man who works in tech, wrote something that stopped me. Working in tech, the AI craze is an earthquake shaking the landscape, so coming to see wood being stained brings unimaginable joy and peace to mind. Coming to see wood being stained. That's what this man does to survive his week. Another commenter wrote a single sentence that I haven't been able to get out of my head since I read it. People used to go to the internet to escape reality, but now people are using reality to escape the internet. Read that again. Because I think that sentence describes something that almost everyone watching this video right now can feel, even if they never said it out loud. I want to talk about what I think is happening. And I want to be careful about it because I don't want to be another person on the internet telling you what is wrong with the world. There are enough of those already. But here is what I think, based on what you told me. A lot of us are exhausted in a way that we don't have words for. It's not that any one thing is wrong. It's that too many things are pulling on our attention at the same time. And most of them don't give anything back. That is shorts, notifications and ads and news and algorithms that keep changing the rules. AI narrated videos that sound almost but not quite like a real person. AI chats that feel human, but then you figure out that it just conforms to your opinions. The slow, constant feeling of everything eating your time. None of this is new. You heard people complain about all of it before. What's new, I think, is the weight of it, the accumulation. It is not one thing. It's everything, all at once, all at the time, on every screen in your life. You feel like you're missing out if you're not taking advantage of AI and optimizing every aspect of your time. And at some point, the weight becomes a feeling, and the feeling becomes a question. And the question is, where do I go to be a person for a while? I didn't expect my channel to be one of those places. I thought I was making woodworking videos for Christ's sake, but 4,000 comments told me something different. People kept using the same words independently without coordination. Calm, peace, therapy, relaxation, sanity, and one word that kept showing up, and I didn't expect it at all. Soul. You kept saying you watch videos that have soul, and that most videos don't anymore. I didn't know that was the job. I thought I was making woodworking content. I think I might have been unknowingly running a small refuge. I wanna try to explain why it works. Not to take credit for it, but because I think it's useful to name the thing. And because I think most of us can make more of it in our lives if we know what we're looking for. My wife plays the violin. She told me once that when she's playing, she doesn't think about anything else. She can't. The violin requires her whole attention, and while she's playing, the part of her brain that worries, that remembers, that plans, and that rehearses conversations, it goes quiet. Not because she is forcing it to be quiet, but because her hands are doing something and her mind has to follow. I'm the same way with wood. I don't do it on purpose. It's not meditation. I don't sit down in the workshop and try to empty my mind. I just start working on a problem. How to joint this board, what order to glue the pieces, why the drawer isn't sliding the way I want it to. And somewhere in the middle of figuring it out, I noticed that I haven't thought about anything else for 2 hours. My brain got a rest because it was too busy with something specific to stay busy with everything else. That's what the workshop gives me. That is what the cabin gives me, and that is what the woods give me when I walk through them with the cat following me at a distance. It's not that these places are magic. It's that they demand a kind of attention that the rest of my life doesn't demand, and the attention itself is the thing that heals. A man who commented on my last video told me that he doesn't even own a saw. He has never done any woodworking. He watches because I remind him of the grandpa he never had. His grandfather was a furniture maker by trade, but he died before the commenter was born. He watches these videos and gets back in some small way the thing that he missed. A 65-year-old woman in Minnesota wrote that she has a bad shoulder now and can't do big builds anymore. So woodworking videos let her, and this was her phrase, come along for a vicarious ride. Come along for the ride. I keep coming back to that, because she's not watching to learn how to make a shelf. She's watching to be in the room. And the room apparently is a place where she can rest for a while. That is not nothing. That might be a lot actually, depending on what your week looks like. I want to say something about storytelling, because I think it connects to all of this in a way that we might miss. Storytelling is probably the oldest craft humans have. Older than woodworking, older than farming, older than writing, and before we had books, before we had schools, we had people sitting around fires telling other people what had happened and what to watch out for. How their uncle figured out how to catch a certain kind of fish. That is how everything we know got passed down. Elders telling younger people stories. Knowledge moving through voices instead of through pages. For most of human history, that's how it worked. I do not think it's a coincidence that the videos that we respond the most to across all kinds of channels are the ones where people are good at telling stories. I think that form is so old and so built into us that when it happens, we feel at home even if we can't say why. It is a very ancient human thing, being told a story by someone who had made something with their hands. That's not a YouTube format. That is what we have been doing for tens of thousands of years. And I think a lot of what is being lost right now is the felt sense of that. A voice that wasn't really a person. A script optimized for attention instead of for truth, for honesty, and for real things. Images generated by a machine that has never held a piece of wood. Those things are not storytelling, even if they look like it. They are the placeholder of storytelling, with the storyteller removed. You can tell the difference. You have been telling me that you can tell the difference. The words you keep using is soul. I don't know a better word for it, so I'll use yours. So what do we do? I don't have a big answer, but I have a small one, and I think the small one is enough. Go outside. Do real things. Build something with your hands, even if it's terrible. Build human connections. Call someone you haven't talked to in a while. Eat a meal with a person instead of a screen. Watch nature. Build in nature. Let your brain cool down. Try to sit in a room with no electronics for 20 minutes and notice what that feels like. Grow your own vegetables, even just one pot on a windowsill. None of this is new advice. You heard it all before, and I'm not going to pretend I'm telling you something that you don't know. So what I'll say instead is this: I believe it. I do it. The workshop, the cabin, the woods, the cat, the coffee, the boring, small, repeated things. Those are the parts of my life that hold up the rest of it. If I stopped doing them, I would come apart. I know this because I have come close to it more than once. And the thing that pulls me back in is always the same. Hands on wood, a cup of coffee by the cabin, a walk where nobody is trying to sell me anything. The machines are going to do what the machines are going to do, and I'm not going to fight them. I use them. I will keep using them. I have always been a person who picks up new tools early, and I'm not going to stop being that person just because some of the new tools are uncomfortable. What I will do, and what I think you're telling me that you want me to do, is keep making the human thing. Carefully, on purpose, in the corner of the internet that still has some quiet in it. I'll keep the door open. One last thing. I have been thinking about AI a lot while I was reading these comments, because a lot of you mentioned it. And I want to leave you with one thought about it, because I think it's the thing I most want you to carry out of this video. My hope for AI is that we remember to use it to cure cancer and not to make deepfake videos. There is a world where these tools help us to do things that humans can't. Solve diseases, understand the climate, translate between languages, free people up from work that nobody should have to do. And there's also a world where we use them to flood every screen with content that no human really made, to sell us things that we don't need, and to replace voices that were worth listening to. Both worlds are possible. We are the ones who decide which one we build. And my small, unshakable belief, which I will hold on to whether or not I am right, is this: the human things are still right here. They are not going anywhere. The workshop, the cabin, the garden, the meal, the conversation, the story told out loud, those don't need to be rebuilt. They are already here, waiting. And all we have to do is keep showing up for them. So thanks for coming along for the ride. I'll see you next time.